What's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to ATI Auto Business. My name is Jay. You know, my goal every Tuesday night is to bring you another trade show level business presentation to you wherever you are, because your automotive business deserves the latest in transportation and logistics news. And if you're busy, and I know you are, in a minute, if you're watching on demand, I'm going to give the welcome show lineup, and you're going to be able to use the clickable video timecode links in the video description below. Please do use those. Feel free to skip ahead, like, share, comment, tell your friends, and thanks for watching ATI. We sure do appreciate it. Attention auto transport industry business community, what super dispatch questions do you have? Mobile app, TMS, super load board, QuickBooks integrations, SuperPay, customer success, customer support, and now Auto Transport Copilot. We invite you to participate with us, with Bek, CEO of Super Dispatch, as he joins us in a live Zoom meeting, and he's asking for your live questions. So please join the live chat. Ask your questions, share your thoughts, grow your business, and break out of your vertical. Because it's Tuesday nights live on ATI Auto Business. My name is Jay. I'm your host. Welcome back to the show. What is going on, ecosystem? Welcome back again. Thank you for taking the time. Really do appreciate you. Here's what we want to do. First, we want you to feel welcome. This is ATI Auto Business. It's the car shipping business channel, and everybody is welcome here. Carriers, brokers, shippers, dispatchers, dealers, auction reps, tech companies, insurance, equipment associations, and so on. So please do feel welcome. Please do say hello in the live chat. This is going to be a big show. And in fact, you know, a lot of shows we're going to have the show, and you know, you can participate and ask things in the live chat. But tonight's show, you are part of the show. You are being asked to participate, live chat your questions, say hello, and make friends and network. That's important to us. And I'm going to go into an industry news segment, probably a little different. We're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, media. That's pretty cool. So we'll do that in industry news. I have a lot of different slides to share with you. And then we're going to bring in Ty, and we're going to continue the conversation and ramp up into the Fireside chat. What is this show about? What have we been working on with Super Dispatch? What have they been working on? And then we're going to bring in Bek, and it is a Fireside chat with Bek, CEO of Super Dispatch. Ask your questions live. Can't say it enough. Please do that. You know, we know that, there's different times where you're not sure if you should raise your hand or slide it. Go ahead and fold your note and slide it over there and see if someone will read it for you. This is the opportunity. And remember that anything you live chat will be in the replay of the show, and therefore it's also helpful to anybody watching on demand with something they might have wished they had asked. So this is a really neat opportunity for the entire auto transport business community. And everybody is invited. I know there were emails that went out. I sent out an email. I put up a post on LinkedIn. So between email, social media, word of mouth, billboards, and everything in between, hopefully we have a really knockout show with a lot of great questions and conversation. That's what we're looking for. That's what we do here on ATI, and so we're so proud to host it. So let's do this. Oh, I don't want to forget this. Please do help me leave those likes. Please do that. Smash the like button. This might be the show. If you've never done this, you can copy the YouTube link and send this to a friend. Bek will be here at 8 o'clock. It's 7:06, so you've still got time to let people know, hey man, this is, you know what? I've never done this before, but I'm going to send you the link. I'm going to hit the like button, and I'm going to get all up in the business. And if you're just not sure what's happening, 417-483-2764. You know you can call or text Ty. Here, I'm going to get the link in the live chat here for you. We want you to do that. Now, that's not the number to reach Bek. And I'll tell you what. I think Casey has the number to reach Bek. Casey, if you want to post the phone number where people can call Bek, which I think that's right. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think there's a phone number where you can reach Bek and ask a question. You can also leave it here in the live chat. You can email me. Why not? Send me an email. Send in the news, autotransportintel@gmail.com. You can send me an email, and we'll get this party started. So right after this, we're going to go into the live chat and say hello. So do me a favor, stick around, because we'll be right back.
Recon in 2023. Time to line. Speed to sale. Managed by metrics. Know what you don't know. Technician efficiency. Workflow efficiency. More cars, less time. Know where your cars are. Connect to what you expect. Rapid Recon can help.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contracts and the verifications of loads where nobody ever answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we bill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-0021, or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31@yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
So you need help staying loaded or moving a car? That's the voice of Sue. She runs a dispatch office. She's a fully licensed broker. She's my co-host on Thursdays on Dispatching Live. Visit murphyautotransportservices.com. Links are in the live chat. And thank you for that, Casey. So the number to call back, and we'll keep posting this tonight, is 816-897-9096. And I'm going to take that number down as well. So, all right, perfect. Excellent. Thank you for that. Yeah, there's some things, I will say, YouTube is pretty, because we don't see a lot of spam in the live chat we have at times. YouTube's got a pretty strong filter. So, we're here to help. Let us know how we can help. That is what we're here to do. And so let's do this. Let's go into the live chat. Thank you so much. There's the live chat. I'm going to take this up to the top. Please do say hello. In here first was Cars on the Move. That's Ty. ATI Auto Business is lit. Yes, we are lit. We're ready to go. It's Tuesday night. That's our favorite night. And so thanks for joining us. Rich Levine. Yo, gents. Happy Tuesday to you. What's up, Rich? Thanks for saying hello, jumping in the live chat. Oh, Kimberly is here. Welcome to Tuesday Nights Live. We're glad you are here. Thanks, Kimberly. Thanks for posting the links and helping monitor the chat. Really do appreciate that. It's a family show. Mark Rodegui is here. Hey, what's up, Jay and Ty? Looking forward to another great show, because when you miss a show, you miss a lot. Well, thanks, Mark. I appreciate that. Yeah, I can say I think it's it's happened. I don't know what show, but now Tuesday nights are a known thing, and we got a lot of people opening the email, asking what's going to be the show Tuesday night. So it's really, really cool stuff. We really do appreciate that. Douglas M, hashtag let's go. What's up, Douglas? Thanks for saying hello. And you know what's neat too is you'll see a lot of people in the live chat have been on different shows. Douglas has been on the show. Carlos has been on the show. What's up, ACB Logistics? And Steph and family, listen, if you haven't been on the show, send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. And we want to, let's find out. What you can do is, if you have an idea for a show, right? Because what am I going to do? I'm just going to show up and say hello. Yeah, you can do that. We can have you on for a segment, a brief segment. You can show up on a Dispatching Live. You can be on a Cars on the Move. Wow, Cars on the Move's really gone up a notch. Or maybe there's a company opportunity on a Tuesday night. That's why ATI Auto Business is a channel, and we're really proud of it. So thanks so much. What else we got here? Still Ramon. What's going on, Still Ramon? Thanks for saying hello and blowing up the live chat. That is super cool. Oh, look at that. Look at Ty. Did you see what Ty did? Making martinis in the super chat. Thanks, Ty. I really do appreciate that. You hit it right at the right time, too. Timing is everything. Super Dispatch is here. Casey is in the live chat. Still Ramon, I wish Super Dispatch could have the volume that Central has. Well, that's pretty good. Okay, listen, that's great. I'm gonna take that down as a question, and maybe somebody can help me monitor questions. But volume, Still Ramon has volume. Good question. Something we also talk about on Dispatching Live, and as Ty and I have talked about, fair and balanced. We're going to be very fair and balanced. I think we always are. We try to be. And if there was a time in the past we weren't, we apologize now. But we are going to, because that's more of a quantitative question than a qualitative question. So it's a good one. Douglas, demonstrate QuickBooks setup with Super, please. Ooh, Douglas has QuickBooks. And what'll happen, I think, is as we accumulate these questions, you'll be referred to different videos. I know there's a big help center on Super Dispatch. So that's a really good question. Thanks, Douglas. 925 is here with thumbs up. What's going on, 925? Thanks for saying hello. By the way, the audio's okay? Oh, look at that. Check. Yeah, it's okay? All right, cool. Let's see. Ty left you a voicemail. Super Dispatch is a perfect platform. Hashtag simplicity. Look at that. Wow. Good one. And Douglas M. Ty, give me a call tomorrow. Super Dispatch Casey, Douglas. And Ty is in the face. House. Something like that. Oh, Charles is here. What's up, Charles? Rovachaz Lemons. YouTube guy. What's going on, Charles? Thanks for saying hello. Steph family, leave a like. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Jess Kowalski. What's going on, Jess? Thanks for saying hello. Cool. And let's see. Okay, excited. AJ Cole is here. Hey, what's up? Media, right? Is it Vade? Gosh, it's been a while, AJ. So it's good to see you in here. Thanks, man. Super Ben is here. What's up, ATI crew? Good to see you all. Hope you're having a great week. What's up, Ben? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Just got started, really, didn't it? Or, I don't know. Tomorrow's hump day. Joe Spicari. What's up, Joe Spicari, man? On the show last week. Awesome show, man. That was really cool. I just want to say, we're going to talk about it in industry news, but shout out to last week's OEM Car Hauler show. It was awesome. Man, that was awesome. I got Ants Artie says the audio's okay. Thanks, got thumbs up on the audio. That's great. Jay had to send you an email about AI being used to target truck drivers. Interesting. I think that's in industry news, as a matter of fact. Oh, yeah, Mother Trucker copied it? Okay, cool. Let me know if Yeah, because it's a video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch that later. I was going to share a couple of videos tonight, but it is Vade Media? Whoa, that's awesome. Well, we're talking about media. We're going to talk about media tonight, so perfect time. Hey, Mav and Brit's clan crew. Brittany is here from Super Dispatch. Ignore the name. My nephew hijacked my YouTube account. That's awesome. All right, well, we're glad you're here. Able to say hello, even if it is, Mav and Brit's clan crew. Let's do this. Let's go into industry news, and we got to keep this moving. I know we got a lot to cover, but please do keep the questions coming in the live chat. If you think I've missed a question, please repeat it. Please call my attention to it. I really do appreciate that. Here we go. Industry news is up after this, so stick around. We'll be right back. Location Services. Collateral recovery with pinpoint precision and advanced proprietary technologies. Your single source for nationwide collateral recovery. LS Recovery. Certified and compliant. LS Skip. Experienced recovery. LSPR. Advanced plate recognition. LS Impound. Precision capture. LS Remarketing. Nationwide auction partners. LS Keys. Professional locksmith. LS Transport to any destination. LS Titles. Verified documentation. LS Auto Notice. Secure fulfillment. One contact, one contract. We do it all. Location Services.
Transport Auto Quoter is by far the leading auto quoting software on the market, and the only auto quoter with a pro version that comes preset with accurate pricing for anywhere in the U.S. So you don't have to worry about it. The best part is that no change with your current software is needed. Just plug TAQ in and start booking jobs. Carriers can easily plug TAQ into their current websites and start making money right away. I bet you're wondering how we do this instantly and accurately 24/7. Well, constant analytics is the key. Our PriceWatch team is constantly monitoring current market conditions, paying close attention to seasonal and quick-moving industry changes. At the end of the day, it takes a lot of time and data to maintain good pricing, time that most of us just don't have on a daily basis. So free yourself up. Using TAQ Pro is really a no-brainer. Save time and money, maximizing your leads and optimizing your online investments. You'll finally be able to sleep well at night knowing that TAQ is on the job selling for you 24/7. Never missing a potential job.
Are you searching for that midnight auto shipping quote and new lead software you can trust? Provide instant, accurate quotes online with Transport Auto Quoter and quote the price right the first time. Visit transportautoquoter.com. Links are in the live chat. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Let's get this thing going. Thanks again for jumping in the live chat. Please do keep posting your questions in the live chat because tonight we have a fireside chat with Bek, CEO of Super Dispatch. It's been plastered all over social media. It's everywhere. People are going to tune in tonight on ATI for the fireside chat with Bek. Now, ATI show starts at 7 Central every Tuesday night. We have our feature guest at 8 o'clock. So Bek will be here in about 40 minutes plus. So I really got to keep this moving. I have a lot that I was trying to formulate, and I wanted to start with this. What's a fireside chat, right? It's an informal yet structured interview between a moderator and a guest. It's a unique opportunity to uncover the speaker's personal stories and ideas. And so we are going to, I think we're going to try to bring it kind of personal tonight. Business personal. Fireside chat. Ask your questions. Live. Here it is. Here's the phone number again. I'm going to put it, call Bek live. I think you can call it right now. 816-897-9096. Or you can post your questions here. I'll keep going, explain what I'm talking about. And it, like I said, everywhere. Tonight is the event. It's ATI. Where else would you host such a big event? On ATI Auto Business, of course. Now, we do this on ATI. We've been talking about the ecosystem. I've been showing this slide every Tuesday night for years. New cars, used cars, auctions, dealers, brokers, carriers, dispatchers, shippers, equipment, regulation, loads, etc. Right? It's an ecosystem. You guys know how I always talk about it. And to go around the ecosystem, that's a big merry-go-round every Tuesday night. 2 weeks ago, we had owner-operator car hauler roundtable. I'm sure there are owner-operators interested in tonight's show, interested in Super Dispatch. OEM car haulers a week ago, actually a question there. Is there EDI capability in Super Dispatch for full-load OEM car haulers? Hopefully we'll find out more about that tonight as well, because there are so many things that could be asked. Front of the store, back of the store, we connect it all on ATI because we want to know as much as we can about the ecosystem. And we want to follow those disconnects between sales and operations. Because one car can tie up your whole day. How did that happen? Why did it happen? Dude, where's my car? Carriers hunting down cars, hunting down people, hunting down payment. Front of the store, back of the store. And we have been your auto transport community media since 2017 to help try to answer those questions. Now, I had this party about a week ago. I was celebrating the subscribers and the videos since 2017. And I thought about creating a Larry question about the videos. And then I thought, well, you know what? There's many other things to ask. There's a lot to talk about. So let's go back a little bit to the beginning. I was a dispatcher. Now, I had already found my love of media, but then I ended up falling into dispatching. That's a picture of me as a dispatcher at Super Dispatch in like 2014, something like that. In the office, troubleshooting, right? So I know what that looks like. And I learned a lot. And we went as a small group this is the Mid-America Truck Show. This is 2015, right? Anybody ever seen this picture before? Right? This is an amazing picture. Going to take that in. There you go. Okay. And then, drawing upon my media roots, I think it was 2016, decided, you know what? Let's make some media. So, again, 2016, Super Dispatch, Super J, Car Hauler BOL, videos and stuff, started doing that stuff. And then in 2017 is when I launched ATI. This is like right around the beginning of the launch. I guess I look a little bit different. Now, the reason I did that, and one of the things I want to talk about tonight is, I know we do look like teenagers. This is a film set. I think most people would know that. In fact, you're going to know a lot of the slides, which means we all know a little bit about media to some degree. Now, I don't know if everybody knows that's a camera dolly and what grip equipment is and what each, the folks are doing. This guy is a lighting guy, and this guy's probably an assistant cameraman, and he's a grip, and what people do, right? And that's probably a production assistant. But this is kind of the stuff that I love. I love media, which means that tonight's show has a special place for me because media is really my jam. I actually have read this book long time ago. My gosh, I don't know, 25 years ago. And I recommend it for anybody looking to get into bare bones of film and video. So in the 90s, let's go back again. In the 90s, I'm in college, and I was given this book to read as part of a class. And I started to realize, people talk about it today in the press, they don't trust the media, this and that. Well, there's a reason. There is a media monopoly. And this talked about the strings of the different newspaper organizations. That was a big deal, right, in the 90s. And the structure and the changes. And that's why anytime I can read an article about like CNN or Fox or Rupert Murdoch, I'll pick it up. I want to read it. I want to know what's happening. But at the same time, it's the creators that we really focus on. I had a Hitchcock class, and man, I don't know how many. I mean, I did a paper on Hitchcock, like a 12-page paper. And but we all, this isn't just about me. We all love, there's a book we love. I love this book. I've actually talked to Bek about this book, Atlas Shrugged. It's an amazing book. Of course, it's 1,100 pages, but it's an amazing book. We all have music we love. I love cake. I can always listen to cake. It makes me jam and smile, and that's, so we all have media that we love. This is a movie that I love. Who doesn't have a movie that they love? Stick with me. So when you think about, the things that we love, movies, music, TV, books, I knew 30 years ago, my gosh, is it 40? Nah, let's go with 30. Take it easy. That I wanted to be at the intersection of media. There was no internet at that time. Television, radio, newspapers. I've known this. This has been the most important thing in my life since I can remember. And when I see, like, the amazing CNN newsroom on TV, right, it's amazing for those that still watch TV. It's an amazing newsroom, but it's cold and it's beautiful, but is it intimate? I mean, what kind of media do you want, right? The classic interview. Two people talking, face to face. Now we do it on Zoom meetings, but the interview that's why this fireside chat is important. This is another form of, right, interaction and media. Now you could argue, well, the person at the podium contains too much control over the group with their hands raised, but there's still an opportunity for interaction. It's still a form of media. Now, one could argue this is just more education-based and research-based, but that's one of the things I love about media is when you include education and research, right? As you see, this is a form of presentation that I do every Tuesday night. I call it industry news. This is a form of industry news, right? The POV of the pastor talking to the congregation. I suppose that's a form of media. It's a different type of message, but it is media. You've got your lecture halls. Now this is, right, much less intimate, but you do have an opportunity to participate. In fact, one could argue a Zoom meeting is kind of more like a lecture hall, unfortunately, but we try to break down those barriers. I've always been fascinated with the camera production trucks. I mean, this isn't a camera truck. This is a production vehicle, and it's a live, on-location, mobile production vehicle, most likely. Could be in a studio. But, you got all the monitors and the switchers and the control center. That's what interests me. I have a bit of one here live on ATI, but I've always loved that. I also like the idea of being a tour guide. Now, I'm not a tour guide, but in some ways I am on Tuesday nights in this auto transport media setting. And I love to catch a camera on camera. It's something I really love. So this shot has several things that I enjoy. And they're in the caves, they're below, right? You are now in a place where you could probably use a bit of a tour guide. And that's the kind of place that I like to go. I also really, in my personal time, I enjoy a Joe Rogan podcast. It's pretty legit, straight up, spontaneous, whatever. I mean, there's topics, but I like that format. Joe Rogan really has something. It's a great podcast. Probably coming on the heels of Larry King Live. I'm a big fan of live, right? Even though it's on demand, it was live when it happened. That's what I'm a fan of. So, Larry King, take it or leave it. I never think about Larry King, but gotta say, I like the format. And that's why I love the live chat. I just want to point out that I just really, hit the wrong slide. I really appreciate participation in a live chat. It's hard to manage a live chat while you're giving a presentation. But at the same time, I feel like it's a really important part of what's happening. That's why I like to put it on the screen. I like to see people say hello, ask questions, share information. I see Fef Don thought Bek was on at 7. Well, we're sorry. He'll be on in a half hour. But bear with us. But that's a joke. I mean, that we're live, right? We're live. See, and this is what I like. I like a live interaction where there's possibly a message and a focus. Possibly. And there's room for many microphones at the podium. And it's also something I want to make sure that I remember, that we all remember. It's not just one microphone. There are gosh knows how many TV stations there to hear the message and pass it along to the folks. What those companies do with it, their speed, their quality, their perspective, now those will all be different. But at the time of the message being given, they all had the same opportunity to do a great job. So I want to talk about some of I know that, if you look at the other companies in auto transport and you look at all the YouTube channels out there, I mean, it's a lot. We just looked at Assertus. Here's ACV Auctions. They have a YouTube channel. AutoSled has a YouTube channel. Carshipio has a YouTube channel. And I went to each one, and there's the YouTube link, there's the name of the channel, subscribers, videos. You can get a sense of what kind of messaging are they putting out. What are the reactions? I know we all look at views and subscribers and likes and shares. Of course, that's important. It's very important, especially to those taking the time to make the media. But it's interesting that, like in this one, Hotshot Haulers, man, he's been making videos for years from the cab of his truck about the struggle of being a carrier. That's a lot of work. To actually be a carrier and do that, now that's a lot of work. Jack Hooper Transport's got a YouTube channel. Montway Auto Transport YouTube channel. RPM has a blog. Have you seen how much blogging RPM does? Check this out. 54 pages. You can kind of see that lower arrow. They put out a lot of blogs, and I got to tell you, I kind of bookmarked some of them because they have a habit of finding topics that I think are industry relevant. I'm not sure who works on this blog, but I think they do a pretty good job. And RPM does a lot more media than just the blog. And I see your comment, Charles. That's awesome. I think many of us love media. This is actually why, this is my moment to say this, is that the media, people bag on the media a lot. The media this, the media that. Well, yeah, no, I'm with you. I get it. But not everything is the media's fault. The people are to blame, not as often as the media, but yeah, I think if you watch too much reality television, you get a little sideways on what you think media is. But that's okay. We'll keep going. This RPM blog, I really do like it. And feel free, you can live chat your opinions. I like that. I want that. So thanks for doing that. Run Buggy, beyond the YouTube channel, now has #AutoBuzz. What's that? I just saw this, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. So is this a Run Buggy industry news segment? I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. But one of the things that I do is I look to see, oh, that's new? Is it going to keep going? Is it going to grow? Do they think it's going well? And then a year later, I'll notice, oh, yeah, that stopped too. Many things stop. That's one of the things about media. It's hard to keep it going. It's really hard. But anything is. It's just that, how many jobs can you do at once? That's what you have to ask. Here's the Run Buggy YouTube channel. Jamie Carpenter, she's got a new podcast. Episode 2 was delayed a little. But I understand that. I've been there. If I was to tell you how many shows I've made over the years, how many projects I've launched, how many ideas I've had, we would be here all night. No one's ever heard of Streaming Media Dojo, all right? But I had 100+ episodes of Streaming Media Dojo in the early 2000s. It was started as an audio radio show. It went into a video podcast, and then it ended. I just couldn't keep it going anymore, and I couldn't turn it into a business. And that was 100+ episodes. I've had many other shows, so I know how this is. I know how hard it is, and after a while, you wonder, what am I doing? But that's okay. And here, Serge the car hauler. I'm going to give Serge here's an applause for Serge the car hauler. Controversial, yes. Questionable, maybe. But Serge the car hauler really does care about cars, auto transport, and other things. Media, community. But, there it is. Look at that. Texas to California carloads on the dispatch board. That's a video from a month ago. I will say, I think the first YouTuber I ever heard of in auto transport was Serge the car hauler. And I'm going to say 2015. Maybe 2014. And I just want to say this about YouTube, is that YouTube started in 2005. Now, I got into live streaming in 1999. With a company called Cast Pro. And I would do live streaming demos in the year 2000 and 2001. That was 22 years ago. That's how long I've been in the live streaming format. And when I first heard of YouTube, I thought that's pretty cool, but it wasn't near what it is now. So in 2007, 2008, I had the opportunity to upload some videos for like a client. I was doing a video production and I'm like, I'm not going to post a client video on YouTube. I'm pretty sure I said those exact words in 2008. So it took a long time for YouTube to get where it is. So for Serge the car hauler to be making an auto transport industry channel in 2014, that's pretty interesting. It's pretty amazing stuff. Again, shout out to Serge. Super Dispatch YouTube channel. Right? Have you been there? And, what videos have you watched there? Now, I was kind of looking through some of the videos, and you'll find education tutorials. I got that coming up in a second. I think I went alphabetically on this, so let me finish this, and then we'll go into Super Dispatch. United Road Services, they have a YouTube channel, as well as for NVTA, which is their association. So, there's a lot of YouTube channels just in auto transport. And if you think of all the YouTube channels that you know of, that you watch videos, that you randomly find, you can't even put your arms around it. It's amazing. It's an amazing format, platform, and man, it's whatever you want to make of it. Of course, it's not the Wild West it once was, but one could argue there's up and down of that too. Now, when we look at what kind of videos then are on YouTube in auto transport, here's one: a day in the life of a dispatcher. 3 months ago, Virginia Transportation, which is interesting because Virginia Transportation, now one could say, well, that's a car haul business making a day in the life of a dispatcher video. That's interesting. Really? That is, actually. Okay, 124 views 3 months ago. Sounds pretty good. Here's a podcast on auto remarketing with ACV's Doug Haddon. So, okay, ACV's doing a podcast on auto remarketing, or rather, auto remarketing's doing a podcast, and the guest is Doug Haddon of ACV. It just so happens Doug Haddon of ACV will be on Cars on the Move on ATI Auto Business in a couple weeks, so you can see how, right, everybody. I don't have to spell this out, but what I'm going through is some of the minutia that will lead us to that larger picture that we're chomping at the bit for. Here's one for you. I'm seeing this more and more. My first podcast debut. Thanks, Lot Links. And I don't know who she is. Okay, Angela Mancuso. Actually, maybe have heard of her. I think she works in the dealer space. She's got her first podcast debut. We're seeing this a lot, actually. This is the year of the podcast, apparently. I'm not sure. Could have been last year. As a media guy, hard to keep up. The Independent Dealer podcast making a transportation video. That makes sense. Dealers transport cars too, so you can see how there's a lot of potential for movement around the different businesses and verticals for sharing information and media. This was a screenshot from the NIADA Energy Show we did, where, again, we love to bring in the community. We did the car shipping roundtables. I know that was 2 to 3 years ago, but I don't even have the exact number because it's so hard to keep up with all the stuff we do. There's me live on stage at Car Conference earlier this year. Seems like forever ago. But that's also, right, an important form of media, being on stage, being live. Here's another form, right? This was a, forget what you guys called it. I guess it was a panel discussion at Auto Intel Summit. Ty Thompson, ATI, Eric Schwartz, Cox Automotive, Alicia Belt of Acertus, John Robertson, Ship Your Car Now, and Stan Deek of Super Dispatch. Great collaboration. That's awesome. And then sometimes we get the pat on the back. We don't always share it and save it, but hey guys, I gotta tell you, episode 303, that was last week's, did a great job making me feel like I was sitting there taking it all in. And that is actually my goal right now, that you're here taking it in and you feel like you're part of what's happening. That's my goal. If you don't feel that way, I messed up. And I don't like to mess up. So I just want to say then, so we've been collaborating with Super Dispatch over the last several months. Here's a YouTube short I made of Brittany. She was talking about customer success and support on Dispatching Live. Here is a video, man, that's got over 1,000 impressions. This is Ross Quinn, also on Dispatching Live. We were talking about how over 500,000 vehicles are moved each month through Super Dispatch. Super Dispatch was excited to have Ross on Dispatching Live. Super Dispatch benefits. There's some nice collaboration. How many car haulers use Super Dispatch TMS and mobile app? This is actually a YouTube short from a longer form video that we did with owner-operator car haulers. That one's got almost 1,000 impressions and lots of likes and views. Claim your free swag in a partnership with ATI and Super Dispatch. Carrier, broker, shipper. Right? Isn't it interesting to look, and that's why I'm doing this, to look at the snapshot of all the things we've just done recently and in the perspective of media, education, research, and promotion. Here's a podcast from one of those shows, instant booking of loads and load alerts using Super Load Board. Here's another podcast. This is the podcast of Brittany having been on Dispatching Live, customer success and carrier support. We've been promoting the Lucky Load every week, running some videos, again, sharing the good news of the ramping up in loads being moved through Super Dispatch. This is the Tuesday night we did. Gosh, it seems like forever ago. That's only 3 months. We had the Super Load Board Secret. Got nearly 1,000 impressions on that. Lots of likes, comments, reposts. Vin was on a Dispatching Live talking about the SuperPay webinar coming up. And then we move into other areas of things that Jay and Ty do. We actually were thanking Central Dispatch for the coffee at NIADA. And man, this post blew up. Which is interesting because, again, that proves the community does pay attention to certain things. Right? You don't always know until you put the message out there. Engage in some media. Let's see what happens. This is just a random photo. There was no planning in this photo. That's not even Ty's coffee. He's holding my coffee cup. I said, here, hold this. Let me take a photo. That's what happened. Sharing more videos, and I know I'm getting long-winded in this, so I'm going to keep on moving. The driver app. I think this is really important stuff. I want to talk about this tonight. We are going to continue our conversation learning more about Auto Transport Copilot. I know there's already a lot of car hauler life videos, day in the life videos, and so stories are important in the auto transport community. Also, of course, let's find out how expedited freight is growing. There's educational videos, Central Dispatch, how to book loads on Central, how to book loads on Super, right? These are important and very helpful. These educational videos make a difference. And we look at, okay, so education versus story versus just thoughts on a conference. How are these videos being received? Look at the way YouTube puts videos together. You got a video from 6 years ago, next to a video from 5 years ago, next to a video from 11 days ago, which is interesting too. Look at, how are these compared in the mind of an algorithm? And I also really like to, now that's why we're consultants. We've created so much media and spent so much time in the industry that now we're pointing things out to other companies. And it's something we really do like to do. This is Run Buggy has posted an advertisement of Hitch. What are they advertising? Who are they advertising to? What's the message? How quick can you absorb the message? Let's look at, here's an auto sled post on LinkedIn. Here's a pre-owned auto logistics. This was an email sent out today. So I start to, okay, so I'm going to take all of that ball of wax, run it through the J machine, and try to come up with some interesting ideas. This was actually a draft idea of a potential post. Now, the problem could be, I might be the only one that actually sees any logic here. I don't know. But it was an idea, because I tried to I put myself in the laboratory, which actually had become part of the original intention of ATI. Let's do a live laboratory. So in perspective of all that, when the news hit auto remarketing last week, Super Dispatch launches a video podcast for the auto transport industry. I got some people sent me questions. They read, this is on the website, Auto Transport Copilot is the only auto transport industry podcast bringing the auto transport community together through real life experiences. Auto Transport Copilot, there's a separate, I think this is on the webpage, or maybe it was an email today. The only auto transport industry podcast that brings the entire community together through real life experiences. And then this is a web page you can click. You can learn more about Copilot. So I started to get messages. Aren't we already doing a podcast? Is this flattery? I'm definitely going to tune in. That sounds really interesting. And then, someone's saying, but why? Okay, so I don't know. But I do know this, is that, well, Eric says as well, and I put that's why I shared the slide of the many microphones around the podium. As I said, there are many ways to capture the experience and share it. There's room for, that's why there's CNN, Fox, MSNBC, you go on down the list, right? And then they suddenly get into opinions and media. And those might be valid. But then we see, here's a post by Eric. For all my Cox colleagues, Eric Schwartz, Cox Automotive, posts this. I'm looking for 6 product managers to join my team. Central Dispatch is about to unleash a torrent of change and innovation in the coming years. Join us and be part of transforming our market-leading marketplace to solve the problems of automotive shippers and carriers across the U.S. First, I want to say this. Excellent. Excellent. Because on ATI Auto Business, we have always maintained this is what we want to see. We want to see everybody that either, wasn't stepping it up or just wasn't able to at the time. We want to see them throw their hat in the ring and make this industry better. That's the whole point of all this. And whether everybody starts a podcast or a YouTube channel or videos next week, great. Because this industry has needed help and attention and TLC loving care for so long. I love it. I'm glad to see it. One of the things that makes our version of the news different is that we will cover the hard stuff. How you get through a 50-page complaint of ACV auctions versus the National Auto Auction Association and whether you actually make that video, ATI will do that. We did it. It's the only video on the topic that goes through the complaint. That's what we do. If you've been hacked, we're going to share that information. We're going to interview the hacker, the hacky, and everything in between, if possible. And if you're out there and you want to know which platforms are best to use starting out, perfect. You're in the right place. Because we are not beholden to any one company. We represent and share fairly and equally to all. This literally is public access to everybody in auto business today. You can say your piece, ask your questions, share your thoughts, and grow your business. And we'll talk about every company, all of them. We are the ecosystem's neutral zone, and it's always going to be that way. We're happy to be ATI Auto Business. And we're building a library. This is something that I have figured out now that we are 304 Tuesday nights in. We're over 100 dispatching live, over 100 cars on the move, and almost every video has a video description with clickable video time codes. ATI is building the library. And we want to help. If there's a book that you don't see on the shelf, we want to be. We're your newspaper on your doorstep. You know, newspapers have gone by the wayside. But that's who we are. You know, it's Tuesday night. You know, the paper will be there. We'll be live on Thursdays at noon. We'll be live on Fridays at noon. We're ATI. And we want you to join us and feel like this is your community resource. And that includes everybody. The Big Tent wants you. Companies that have been here and advertised, I was like, wow, that's a longer list than I remember. That's pretty neat. But you know, it's not all fun and games. It is not easy to remind and prove all of the ROI that you get on ATI. All right, you can't see that it is. Long shelf life, video production experience, markets, education, and the way people feel about ATI. Jay, I thought this was a fireside chat with Bek. Well, it is. Because now that I've said my piece, I actually have some industry news, but I took so much time. I don't think this has ever happened before. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this. And after this, we're going to be live with Ty, who's going to help me introduce Bek, because we are not going to be late to bringing in our featured guest, Bek Abdullaev, CEO of Super Dispatch. Do me a favor, stick around, because right after this, we're going to be live with Ty to help me introduce Bek. Here we go.
So why am I doing a podcast? Everybody else is doing a podcast. Why not? Hi, my name is Bek Abdullaev, CEO of Super Dispatch. I started Super Dispatch to solve big problems in auto transport. And today, I want to bring something new to you. We're calling it Auto Transport Copilot. Auto Transport Copilot is a video podcast. This is an attempt to get a conversation going. I think that's what this is. It's an attempt to get a conversation going. As an industry or as a community, we're not really having these conversations out in the open. And I think some of these bigger challenges and problems or lessons are best served when they're tackled collectively by the whole industry as a community. And my hope is to bring forward some of these voices, some of these challenges. I want to be able to showcase movers and shakers, the hard workers, the hustlers, the winners and losers in this game of auto transport, and all from a perspective of a co-pilot, being right there with them. Thank you.
The next evolution of moving cars faster, smarter, and easier is here. SuperPay by Super Dispatch. Today, shippers waste hours managing fragmented payment systems. And carriers are left wondering, never knowing when they'll finally get the payment they're owed. SuperPay saves everyone time and hassle by securely automating payment upon proof of delivery. No more tracking down payments or onboarding carriers to disconnected payment systems. With integrated payments with SuperPay, Super Dispatch is now the only end-to-end, all-in-one auto transport platform. Automate payments where you automate transport.
Super Dispatch, TMS, mobile app, Super Load Board, SuperPay, helping carriers, dispatchers, brokers, and shippers move cars and get paid fast on one auto transport platform. Visit superdispatch.com. Links are in the live chat. Okay. We have one more segment before Bek joins us, so please do help me wish... Oh, I hit the wrong button. Help me wish a very warm welcome to... I was going to ask him a question, but I'd rather give him a drum roll. Ty Thompson. What's up, man?
Hey,
Here's
Jay.
an applause.
How are you?
How you doing?
Good. I had a great day, by the way.
Did
Two
you?
great phone calls.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Take it away.
Well, the one, you know, anybody in the audience that doesn't know a guy named Guy Young? Guy Young he runs the AAHA. It's Auto Hauler of America's Association. Sometimes I get that.
Auto haulers. This is what I'm here for. It's just to, because you do all the important stuff, and then I get the terms. Auto Haulers Association of America. Yes.
Association of America. Association of America.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've been trying to get a hold of AHA because we go to all these dealer conferences all the time, and every dealer conference, I'm like, man, AHA should be here. So been trying to get a hold of Guy for, I don't know, 2-3 weeks now. And then we had our show last week, Joe Bakari, Rod, Tom, and somebody else. And
we had Joe, John, Rod, and Tom.
You know, John, Larrick.
Yep, John Larrick.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I can see you.
Wow, you're froze on my screen.
Well, I'm unfrozen in real life. But yeah, you're good. I can see you. Can you hear me? You can't hear
Barely,
me.
you're cutting out and you're still frozen.
Well, I'll tell you
I'm
what.
trying to look over here. I got another screen. I can now.
Okay. Well, keep going, and if it, you can.
There, you're back.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you very much. But I think I'm looking at the stream, and it looks okay. So, and actually, you just froze for a second.
Could be on my end.
I think it's on your end. So, but keep going. I think it's on your end. But keep going.
Great.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well, anyway, AHA is a pretty big deal, and do you want me to check out and check back in?
Yeah, check out and check back in, because I'll tell you what. Let's do this. This is a perfect setup.
Bring Bek in.
Bek will love this intro because it's gone so well. So I'll tell you what. Here we go. Go ahead and log out and log back in. Here we go. All right. So we're gonna bring in Bek.
Wow.
Trailer Bridge Terminal in Jacksonville is the best port terminal to me ever in maritime shipping. My reasons are endless. Their motto is "Make ship happen." So I'm following suit. What's interesting, and this is probably another good. Jay is frozen, so it's not Ty. Huh. I'm looking at the stream over here, and I look. I think that's the quote. Jay is frozen. I think that's the flavor as well. Is that this is a live show, and anything can happen, right? And anything does happen. One would say, well, why do you guys like to go live? Well, number one, because you can join us. We like to go live so that you can join us, and that's actually one of the benefits of tonight's show is live questions, because we're live. It is Ty. That's what I thought. Okay, thanks, Stan. Appreciate that. So, all right, here we go. Let's do this. I'm gonna bring in Ty again. Ty is gonna help me wish a warm welcome because we're right on time. It is 7:59 p.m. Central Standard Time, and Ty is gonna help me bring in Bek Abdullaev, CEO of Super Dispatch, and clearly we know each other. So here we go. Let's do this thing. Ty, are you ready? Thumbs up. All right, here we go.
About all that.
Nah, you're good. All right, here we go. All right, please do help me wish a very warm welcome. Taking center stage here on ATI Auto Business on Tuesday night, show 304 in a row, Bek Abdullaev, CEO of Super Dispatch. Bek, can you see us and hear us okay?
Hey ATI, I can see you, I can hear you.
Perfect.
Can you hear me?
We
Yeah,
can
great.
see you. We can hear you. Perfect. Station identification. We're good. So, as I always like to say, please say hello, introduce yourself, and tell us a little bit more about you. Let's start there.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for having me, Jay, Ty, everyone watching right now, and everyone watching later. The cool thing about the show is that it gets to live on forever, right? This is if you look at auto transport, this is history being written in real time of things that are transpiring. So let me start with this. I'm excited to be here, and the reason that I'm excited to be here is the same reason I like waking up every day and working on Super Dispatch with the people at Super Dispatch and who work with Super Dispatch. I think it comes down to this community. I love this community. I've loved this community for the past 10 years. I think it started with dispatching days, 13, 14 years ago, building a dispatching company, working with carriers, shippers, brokers, spending 12 hours a day on central dispatch, on the phone, nonstop, managing paperwork, trying to get paid, booking loads and negotiating, getting to know a lot of the brokers and the shippers and the carriers. Those were the good days. That was really fun. And I gained a lot of appreciation for how hard people work in this industry and how difficult the job is. And then, to the days of trying to figure out how we fixed some of these problems, how we can make things better, seeing that, we're not the only people trying to make things better. A lot of people come together. If you look at 10 years ago, there's not a lot of technology, for example, and today there's a lot of technology solutions, which is amazing. This is what we want to see. So I love this community. I continue waking up every day excited to work with the people in this community. I can't believe that in the last 5-6 years, the Super Dispatch has helped deliver over 20 million cars. That's insane. That's that's crazy. I never thought I would be here today, but I think this journey has been one of the most rewarding things, and I can't wait to continue working with the people in this community to make things better. And I think that's a big reason for coming on today and launching the Auto Transport Copilot was that, because we're in the community, we're talking to people. I'm in a unique position to be working with the people from all walks of life, and everyone in this industry is connected. What I mean is, we work with large Fortune 500 companies, big CEOs and executives who are partially responsible for moving their vehicles. And then we also work with lots of owner operators who move those cars. This ecosystem connects. What I realized one day is that if you look at this large, massive publicly traded company, everyone might recognize the success of the CEO of this large company. In part, depends on an owner operator in Oklahoma doing a good job on a random Tuesday. Because if that car doesn't move, if that guy doesn't do, or that gal doesn't do a good job of moving that car in Oklahoma, it may not reflect as well on that large company. So it's a very symbiotic industry. There's codependency among different players. So part of the reason that we came out with Copilot is to give voice to those people, to bring forward a lot of these challenges and the problems we're having as a community, so that we're discussing these out in the open, no secrets. I think it's normal for us to come out and start saying good things about ourselves and nice things. It's kind of like social media. Life is fabulous if you check anybody's social media feed, including mine. But the reality isn't as fabulous as my Instagram page would suggest. I live a real life, and like anybody else, there's serious problems. And for the industry in this community, it's the same thing. So, and I personally hear that a lot. I spend time on the road, riding with car haulers, and back in the day I did it, and over the years I've done it, and I've visited lots of shippers and dealers and lots of brokers who want to make things better. And we have a lot of these conversations, but what we don't see a lot is, and you guys have changed the game a lot on this, is we're not seeing these conversations out in the open. And we believe that if we start bringing these conversations and having them out in the open as a community, we might be able to start solving them. Because you hear people, I mean, I do this too. You hear people talk about, hey, such and such is broken, this is bad. Somebody ought to do something about it. Well, who's going to do anything about that? Who is that person? We're it. We are those people. So our attempt with Auto Transport Copilot is to bring forward these voices and these challenges and problems out in the open. And let's get the people who can make these changes engaged in this conversation. Because I believe we're getting very close to overcoming a lot of the major challenges. A lot of problems still exist, and maybe we'll get into some of those today. But in the last 5 years, there's been a lot of changes, advancements, and I think that I truly believe that if we continue coming together and tackling these together as a community, I think we can make progress very fast.
Whoa. that was a lot. Good job.
Yeah, I mean, it comes from the heart, right? I think I don't even have notes really. I guess I've been waiting to come on and talk about this for over a week now, and I'm just super excited to be here.
Yeah, it's really cool. And by the way, thanks. I got cut off there with some kind of internet problem, but this is a really big deal. I don't recall, and I could be wrong, Jay would correct me for sure, but I don't recall having a fireside chat with the CEO of a company.
No, we haven't done that before. This is our first fireside chat. Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks, Bek.
Pretty cool. Yeah. It would make sense that it would be you. Meaning that, okay, so I was doing a couple things. I was thinking about, okay, TEDx. I'm going to say three things. TEDx, Techstars, Sprint Accelerator. I could keep going. Will you talk more about that? That's some of your, like, I mean, you have roots in, like, education, startup. Take that away, will you? Like, I mean, this is a big part of, well, how do you finish that sentence?
Yeah, I think it starts with my mom. I think my mom made me believe that you can achieve anything. I grew up in Uzbekistan. Actually, that's where I am today. It's 6 a.m. in the morning. I'm in Uzbekistan. This is our Tashkent office. I'm the only one here right now. Timing-wise, works out. I think, my mom made me believe that I think she made me curious. She made me believe that I could achieve anything I wanted to. And I've just always been a curious person. And when I was 16 years old, I had a chance I won a scholarship on a competition to go to the United States for 1 year as an exchange student. And I spent a year in Iowa with an incredible family. And that was a transformative experience for me. I experienced America for the first time, and people were incredibly nice. And it just blew the whole world wide open for me. And it really transformed my life forever. And I really loved this open society concept around freedom of speech and human rights and the overall decency and all the concepts built around the pursuit of happiness. And I just fell in love with that, and I've been chasing that since then. And then a few years later, I came back in college, and then I met a girl, and I married, and now we have 4 kids. We live in Kansas City. we love it. And along the way, I think, Jay, to your question, it's just been the pursuit of trying to make things better. I think that's just every day. My mission is to make things better than when I found them and to leave a mark on this world. We teach this to our children every day. So I think it just comes down to that. Along the way, I've just always been trying to do this. Auto transport happened to be my calling for this phase in my life. And, I answered that call. And every day I'm doing this. TEDxKC, today I sit on the board of directors. TEDxKC was one of the largest, historically the largest at some point, independently organized TED events outside of the main TED conference. 1 year, not long ago, we beat Sydney Opera House as the largest TEDxKC event. This is pre-pandemic. And it's an incredible event. And I started as a volunteer. I believed in big ideas. I believed in sharing those big ideas on the open stage, which is the main idea of TED and the TED Talks. And I learned so much for it. So I wanted to bring that to Kansas City. I wanted to do my part. And my part was just handing out T-shirts and checking tickets for a year. And I volunteered lots of time, hanging posters. And over the years, getting to know the team and working with the team and seeing the impact it can make on the community, eventually they asked me to join the board of directors to continue working with the team and helping impact that event to make sure that it's sustainable and it continues to happen in Kansas City. You talk about tech and Techstars. Super Dispatch was the first ever tech startup from Kansas City, or from the founder from Uzbekistan, to be accepted into Techstars. Techstars is an elite top 3 accelerator in the world. And that was a big deal. We were the first Kansas City company. We really didn't have a lot of confidence in ourselves in 2016 going into that program. We just thought we were just, a bunch of random nobodies who don't know what they're doing. And, we crushed it. We came out of Techstars really strong. We crushed it, and we haven't stopped ever since. But if you look at the pre-Techstars days, it wasn't like I woke up on Tuesday and the team was like, boom, we were just, hot tech company. Years prior, I was actively working on building entrepreneurship ecosystem in Kansas City. It's another community initiative. I worked really hard to help entrepreneurs, validate their ideas, validate the problems they're solving, figure out how to work on the right problems, how to work on the right things to build a company around. And some of those principles went into building Super Dispatch. I'll give you an example. I worked really hard on evangelizing this idea called lean startup. And essentially, if I boil it down to one thing, it's don't get excited and infatuated about this idea that you have, a business idea, because business idea that you have is a solution. Because that's how we think. We think about, it'd be great if, such and such existed for X, Y, and Z. And what happens usually is that if that solution doesn't solve a problem for a large number of people, you don't have a business. And as someone who has a lot of ideas, business ideas, I'm the first to fall victim to that fallacy. And sometimes the solutions that we come up with, nobody needs them really. They don't solve a big problem for people, so they're not going to pay for it. And if they're not going to pay for it, you don't have a business. So I spent 2.5, 3 years doing that. I spent a year and a half building a different company called Startup Games. That was really fun. And Startup Games was really built to accelerate the growth of this entrepreneurship ecosystem. I was really focusing on bringing as many entrepreneurs together, because there's this idea that if they talk to each other more and more frequently, the more ideas collide, the more businesses can come of that. And I still believe in that in auto transport. I love seeing that Facebook groups are very active in auto transport. People are very active on YouTube. I love seeing the community come together around this show and the platform around ATI. I'm seeing that community is also very active on Instagram as well. So this is real. The more the people in this industry as well talk to each other, we used to call them collisions. The more collisions happen in this industry, the more the ideas move forward. And today we see this, we see this at conferences. You see this conferences, everyone is open, everyone is approachable, everyone is transparent. Competitors talk to each other, they have discussions, they tackle bigger challenges around the industry. And I think in many ways, the roots, the community roots are coming into play here to also do that here in auto transport. And I think it's coming out in the form of the Auto Transport Copilot podcast platform.
That was awesome. It was an awesome answer. You had a lot there, right, Ty? Your mouth is open because
Wow.
you're like, wow.
What?
Right? And there was a lot.
Yeah, I
there.
didn't know all that. Yeah,
And you ran with
that's
it.
really cool.
That was awesome.
Yeah, good job.
I didn't know. I knew some of that. Like I know about lean. I don't know if I heard of startup games. And I will say this. I was back. I think I was in the room when Sprint said, "Welcome to the accelerator." And
Yeah.
I mean, you were. It was you. You didn't have a team. I mean, I don't know everything you had, but you had to really build up and get ready for this thing. And that's pretty cool. I saw that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what you didn't see.
Yeah. There we go. Tell us. Yeah.
So we had a dispatching company, which you know, and we loved doing that. It was probably one of the hardest jobs outside of running a pizza restaurant at one point in time. But dispatching company was also called Super Dispatch. It was called My Super Dispatch, of the idea of like, hey, this is your Super Dispatch, and the name for Super Dispatch was also spontaneous because I was a solo dispatcher. I was dispatching for maybe 12 drivers. It was insane. I never slept. I had a BlackBerry. I still miss the BlackBerry. But yeah, I had a BlackBerry by my bed, and I just was always on it, communicating with drivers. But I was getting my first Gmail as a dispatcher was auto to wear at Gmail. It felt auto transport-ish. But then one day I had this idea to get like a more dispatchy email, and I was playing around with Gmail, and I ended up getting super dispatcher at gmail.com. I guess I was fancying myself as a good dispatcher in those days. So yeah, I just had that email first, and then when we formed the dispatching company, it was called My Super Dispatch, and that was the name. And when we started working on technology, we just took that name, and because that was the best that we had, it just fit. But what you don't know about that day, so for example, when we got into Techstars, went into Sprint Accelerator, they made an investment. They made an investment into our team. They made an investment into our company, and that's a big validation point. That's a big testament to the path that we were on at that time. But what you don't know, the 3 years leading up to it, is in 2013 when I had this idea to use technology to make a change to more people, because as dispatchers, we can only touch 40 or 50 drivers at a time max. And we were at a max capacity. And as dispatchers working hard every day, we were not in a good position to change the industry. But when I realized that technology has far-reaching impacts for a large number of people, I think I just immediately fell in love with that idea, even though I knew nothing about technology at the time. So in the earlier days, getting the technology up to that point where we got accepted into an accelerator and get investment, somebody had to pay for it. So the team, so our CTO, Far, the team he was working on, he made a lot of sacrifices and gave me a lot of breaks and built a lot of things for very little money. But for a while, I had to take everything, all of my income, and put it into building Super Dispatch. So everything that was coming out of dispatching profits was going into building Super Dispatch. And at that time, Artist and I had one kid, Ozzy, and he was, he was like 3 or 4 years old. And my wife had this job that she hated. She had this accounting job for this union, I don't know, some kind of a compliance union organization. She didn't love her job. She loved her coworkers. She didn't love the work. There was a lot of paperwork and she didn't love it. So she kept waiting to quit the job. And occasionally she joke about, hey, when can I quit? When will one of your ideas take off so that I can quit my job? And so instead of her quitting her job,
I'm
I go to
trying.
her
I'm
and say,
trying.
yeah. I say, hey, artist, I have this idea. I really love it. I'm kind of, I really want to build this. And I tell her, I don't, if I feel like if I don't dive into this, if I don't commit to this 100% full time, I'm afraid it won't take off. And I don't see anybody else doing anything. So I feel like I need to run with this. Would you mind, sustaining our family and paying the bills for, I told her 6 months. I said, yeah, I have a 6 months plan. And within 6 months, I can bring income. And then, you can maybe quit your job. So we made a deal. We made a pact, no problem. Bek got to go work, take all his money, put in Super Dispatch, and I got to work on the company, and Artist was, sustaining our family. And but the 6 months turned to 12, and then to 18, and then 24, and then 30, and then 36. So it took me 3 years. Actually, that day, Jay, 2016, that month when we got investment from Techstars was the first month I paid myself.
That was
And I think,
2016.
yeah, I
Fall
I
2016?
gave myself $20,000 a year salary, I think.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Spring.
Okay.
I think spring of 2016.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Yeah. Gotcha.
So there are a lot of unsung heroes that you don't hear about. I think it's I can sit there and just take all the credit, but the reality is, so many people are instrumental in someone's journey of building a company, and many of you watching know, and some of you here know that it takes a village. It really does. There's the whole supporting system around you, the family and friends, colleagues, just other people that just strangers, mentors that just help you along the way, support you along the way. You get lucky sometimes. So yeah, there are tons of unsung heroes. I would say my wife was probably the biggest investor in Super Dispatch early on of keeping things afloat for 3 years. And the timing worked out great because she was also pregnant with our daughter, Avis, and so Avis was born in 2016. So later that year. So she was pregnant, and the timing was great because I don't think I had any more time left with her keeping her job. She was ready.
Wow.
Wow.
And I think that's a really cool story because you look at, I talk to a lot of guys that want to get in the car hauling business, and they watched a video or they saw a truck running down the road, or they talked to somebody at the truck stop, and my background, my experience, starting with a 1-ton and a 3-car trailer, going to 20 trucks, what you're saying really resonates with me back because the sacrifice that you give to build something, nobody knows, nobody, and you don't get paid, or you get paid last. And to build something that really is going to last, whether that's hand it off to the kids, sell it, whatever it is you decide to do, it does require a lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of everything. And it's really good to hear your story because I hadn't even heard that. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, happy to. And we're still in it. The job isn't done, and
No.
I think I'm grateful and blessed that I have had this opportunity to be a part of something that's more mission driven for a large group of people, and it's cool to be a part of a movement. I don't, historically, we don't always get to be a part of something special like that, such as a movement. In the history of time, it happens in a blimp. Is it a blimp? Is that the right word? A blink.
Blip.
Blip.
Blink,
Blip,
blink,
yeah,
or blip.
And a blink is like
Yeah.
blip, longer than a blink.
So what's cool, sorry to interrupt you, but this is
Yeah.
interesting, kind of swerving off just a hair, because as I'm listening to your story, I'm like, okay, I don't remember exactly what year I got rid of my trucks, but I got rid of them. So I started out with paper, right? And with a carbon copy.
Yeah, I remember that.
You write down the VIN, and it's got a little wireframe of a car on there, and you put a dent and a scratch, whatever it is. And then I came across this guy. He shows up at the shop one day, some old dude, and his name is Dave, whatever. and he's created Easy Dispatch, I think it was called at
Oh
the
yeah,
time.
Dave with Easy Dispatch. I remember that. Great guy, Dave. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we used to call him Super Dave or something crazy. Anyway, whatever. So Dave is out there, and he sells me. He's just some dude that seems cool, and he's like, yeah, you need to keep track of your cars. Well, it definitely wasn't an app, right? It was some kind of a software. And so anyway, go from paper to Easy Dispatch, get rid of my trucks, and this is where I met you and Jay. Some guy that I met that I knew bought a bunch of my trucks, and he's looking for technology. And so I'm in Kansas City. I meet you back. I met Jay in the hall, and I start learning about what this is, and it's crazy, right? I mean, so however long, 16, 17, whatever year that was, we just go back to there and we look at the progress and the change in the technology and the way car haulers keep track of everything. So, I mean, I think, and you even said it a minute ago, you're like, yeah, and there's these other people, they figured they're doing something too. But I like what you're doing. I like what you're saying, because now we can kind of slide into, and by the way, I had a couple people send me a text asking where do we ask questions. I believe it's the live chat. Is that right, Jay?
Yeah, you can put it in the live chat. I think there's a phone number you can call. You can email me as well. I was actually going to ask that because this is perfect time. We're going to move into problem solving, right? Because I think that's a big topic. I'm just going to say this first, and then I'm going to ask the question of the phone number. I know you said that when you started Super Dispatch, you were here to solve big problems. So I want to talk about that because that is what this is, right? That's a logical next thing to talk about. But is there a phone number? What's the phone number?
Yeah, I got. So there's a phone number. I set up a phone number just for the purpose of engaging with the community in auto transport. Anyone is welcome to call, text, leave a voicemail, and it comes to me. I hear it, I read it, I respond to it. I won't always be able to answer it, but sometimes I'll also answer it. But it's 816. And write it down, save it on your address books. 816. 816 897 9096.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and when we announced the launch of the Auto Transport Copilot, we put the email. There's also an email if you have an essay to share or attachments or longer rants about anything. You can also email Superbek, SUPERBEK at superdispatch.com. And when we announced that, I shared this phone number and my email address with the community at large, and it was there's a lot of responses right away, and it was amazing to see phone ringing, text messages coming in, and emails just from people from all walks of life inside the auto transport industry, bringing forward a lot of problems and challenges and issues, and talk about entrepreneurs building their businesses and the hard work that it involves, and the stories and the challenges and the problems they go through. And this is all coming forward, and I can't wait to start bringing these things forward. There's also people that this always amazed me how smart people are, customers especially. There are people that use Super Dispatch that see improvements in parts of the product that I have never even thought of. I've never even seen. I would have never thought of whatever the suggestion feedback is, and it's incredible to see people coming in and making suggestions, having great ideas. It's awesome to see that. So yeah, that's that. Feel free. I won't be able to answer that number because I just muted it for this. But
that was actually one of my questions. But okay, you just answered it. You can call, text, leave a voicemail, and you'll get back to them, or you can be emailed superbek@superdispatch.com.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
So
well, Casey on our marketing team. I think Casey, Brittany, and Ben might be in chat. I think Casey is helping
all three of them are in
some of the messages.
Chat.
So if there's something that definitely has to be discussed today and comes up, definitely we'll get to it. Originally, Jay, I think this, Ty, way I wanted to do the old school radio show. I wanted to try to get people to call and get them on a speaker but we couldn't get the technologies to connect in the way
It's
that it
not.
would work.
I know, and I've
Yeah.
looked into that. I know I like old school radio too, and I used to do calls. I actually used to take calls on this phone, on speakerphone, but and then you got to get into a switch and get it hooked in, and the internet. Yeah, so all right, I know,
Yeah.
I get it. Okay, good. Well, here, what we're gonna do is people can live chat their questions, contact you, email you. We already have a few questions, but before we get to questions, I do want to ask. So, what was, and this is where you were, what was the problem you initially were solving, and how has that problem changed? And I mean, you have a suite of products now. I want you to, talk us through that, if you would.
Yeah, happy to. It's changed quite a bit. I think it just our understanding of the auto transport industry grew over time. We, I realized today that 10 years ago, we knew so little about cars and how cars are moved and the whole automotive industry. And we knew very little about how much dependency there is for the overall automotive industry on a robust, functioning, sustainable the auto transport layer. And at that time, as a dispatcher and as someone who spent a lot of time with drivers on the road, a lot of what I saw was just paperwork and phone calls and issues with payments. So the original idea was just for an app that helps eliminate the paperwork and helps carriers get paid faster. And that's the first problem that we tackled. We felt that the driver at that time was doing 3 or 4 jobs. They were answering everyone was calling them, they were trying to do all the paperwork, especially owner operators. At that time, I didn't have a good understanding of larger scale operations, banks, auctions, emerging online platforms that engage in buying and selling cars, large fleets, and this broader ecosystem was unknown at that time to us. So I think that's what 2013 was simple. We were going to build an app. The app was going to replace paperwork and help people get paid faster. And we would sell that app for $1 million. We would be rich, and we would go build another app. Little did we know that technology is extremely hard, and the auto transport digitization problem is a much bigger problem, and it's a much bigger market. And the technology solutions are much more welcome in this industry. So I think that was initial understanding. I think drivers then, I think we started with drivers. Drivers brought us to the back office. Drivers went and talked to the accountant, dispatcher, owner, and drivers enlightened us into this idea of carriers' back office operations. And that's really the beginning of the carrier TMS. The concept of carrier TMS began around 2015. And it was really a way for the carrier to manage all the drivers and the billing and the sales, the entire back office in a way that's connected in real time with the drivers. And that was cool because I think that was the first time we thought we really had something, because we would get phone calls and emails from people just saying thank you. Hey, thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. I have nothing else to say. I just want to say that, we love what you're doing. This is my 6th company. I've never been in a company. I've never built a company where people called me occasionally or frequently even to say thank you. And that's so cool. That's the stuff that energizes you. That's the stuff that makes you want to wake up the next day early in the morning and go do it again. Right. So the drivers took us to the back office. That was the carrier TMS. And we really at that time became, carrier TMS company. It was the SaaS product just for the carriers. And what happened is we kept working with more and more carriers. And as the company grew and we partnered with more people and we helped more people in this industry, we kept running into issues. Still, inefficiency, lack of visibility, payments. As much as we digitized the carrier side of the industry, there's this whole other side that still was very fragmented. There's lots of different things going on, not very well coordinated. And outside of central dispatch, no one was really using any sort of ecosystem like a large platform that could bring pieces together. And carriers really took us to the shipper side. Carriers took us to their customers, and carriers came to us, and they brought their customers to us. They brought brokers to us and dealers and auctions, and they said, hey, these guys are having a hard time keeping track of the cars. These guys are having a hard time managing payments. These guys are having a hard time, finding carriers or managing phone calls or track and tracing. And 2017, I think, was when we realized that this view of viewing the whole automotive industry as a whole was born. And we spent months researching and understanding what is this beast. This very complex, massive automotive industry beast. And we used to think that we are in the transportation, freight, and logistics industry. But in 2017, we understood that we're not in trucking. I mean, we kind of are, but now we're in the automotive industry, and that's its own, thing. So 2017 was really us understanding, there's this whole big industry in the space, it's automotive industry, and this whole industry doesn't function. People can't buy and sell cars if they can't get them moved, especially in, if you look at all the automotive markets in the world, the one that has the largest dependency on the used car transport is the United States. The transactions and the buy and sell transactions in the US don't happen if there isn't a robust transport network. And in 2017, we saw the emergence of digital companies like Carvana, Backlot Cars, and ATV Auctions, eBlock, and slew of other companies. There's a bunch of other ones that aren't around anymore. I think BP, and I'm not going to get into that. But the automotive industry was being digitized, right? And in a world where cars are being bought and sold online, people weren't going to pick up the phone to find a transporter. Not when you're moving thousands and thousands of cars, not when you're moving millions of cars. So I think we understood at that time that the change was going to happen. And in the future where people are buying and selling cars using technology, there has to be a technology solution to facilitate that logistics layer. And I think that 2017 was the first time when we started thinking about an all-in-one end-to-end solution. And we felt that you could take everything that it takes to move a car, all the pieces of it, and you can combine them on a single platform that allows you to move cars at scale. And that's a new idea. That's really a new idea if you think about how we move cars today, even, or how historically the cars have been transported or managed. This is really a new concept. It's a new way of moving cars that's easier for everyone. It's faster and in many ways cheaper. So that's the mission that we're on. That's the evolution of the vision for Super Dispatch. But getting there took a while. We just sort of was crawled, walked. I think we're jogging now. We're trying to run and race towards that today with a lot of momentum, but I think that's the job. I think the job isn't done yet, but we believe that the changes that are happening in the last 3, 4, 5 years and in the next 2, 3 years will define how this industry operates for the next 20 years. So this is an important part of the auto transport history or automotive industry as a whole.
Wow. All right, here that was great. Really, we're doing great. Now, if we look at the clock, we have 20 plus minutes. I don't know what your time frame is like. I don't want to keep you too long. We do have a few questions, but before we go to questions, we can either go to questions, but I think now's a good time. So here we are. That evolution was painted really well. So now, as we look at carriers, as we look at shippers, as we look at volume, and as you're talking about Auto Transport Copilot, what do you want to add to that paragraph before we go to questions?
Yeah, well, I'd like to add that I would love to get as many voices as I can on Auto Transport Copilot. If you're listening to this, if you're in the chat today, if you see this later, if you see a friend who wants to come on and discuss openly problems, challenges, tips, please come on the platform, come on the show. We will do our best to tackle this as a community, to amplify your voice. One of the things that I'm excited about on Copilot is we're launching a new series as a part of the Copilot. It's called Landing $1 million Contract in Auto Transport. So we're following the stories of some really impressive companies in auto transport who are up and coming, and they're one of the fastest growing companies in auto transport. And they're going from 1 to 5, 10, 20 trucks, or moving as a broker 10, 20, 30, 50 cars to 10 times more, 100 times more. And these are the biggest companies of the future over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And we're following their stories. So we're going to once a month come out and share with you in these podcast episodes the stories of these companies. And what's interesting about it is it isn't just that they're motivating, it's just that we get to see behind the scenes of how the accounting pieces come together, how the best practices are applied. How can we keep more carriers in this industry without them going out of business? How can we organically think about keeping the rates fair in the market so that it's more sustainable for everyone? So I'm excited about these things coming out, but I'd love to encourage anyone that's listening to email us, superbek@superdispatch.com, and with your ideas, feedback, but especially to come on Copilot.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you for that. We've got the phone number, the email, and the live chat. Questions. I think we'll start with Still. Okay. Good question about volume and bringing on more brokers and shippers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take that away if you would.
Yeah. Volume for what? For the industry?
For that,
For
well,
Super
I
Dispatch?
think for the load board, I think it's volume on the load board was the kind of the
Yeah, I
question.
I think I can speak to. Let me take a step back for a second. I've been talking to some people recently in this industry about the emergence of technology and how it's shaping the industry. And I think the narrative around technology has been misguided. What I mean by that is that I think some of us have been frustrated with the amount of technology that emerged in the last 5 years. Most notably, the apps, the TMS systems, the load boards. And recently, I'm realizing that the narrative on that is maybe misguided. Why are we mad that there are a lot of technological solutions? Why are we upset that multiple companies are trying to make our lives better using technology? Sure, I acknowledge that it may be painful now to use too many apps and too many load boards, but if you zoom out for a second, multiple innovative players in this industry are trying to solve very complex problems with technology, and this is a good thing. Yes, it sucks as a driver to have to be on 20 different apps, but guess what? It's forcing 20 people to race for your attention to be the one app that you want. It's making the apps better. It's making us better. It's making our competitors better. But who benefits from that? The industry benefits from that. The customers benefit from that. So I think we're in this interesting time. It reminds me of a little bit of the DVD wars or VHS wars, where you had multiple formats competing. And it sucks because I remember when Blu-ray was fighting with HD, TV, HD something, Toshiba's version of whatever the high definition DVD was. It sucked because DVDs were expensive. $20, $30 per a disc, and some people were investing hundreds of dollars into this HD TV, HD device, HD DVD. That's what it's called, HD DVD. And other people were investing hundreds of dollars into Blu-ray, and Blu-ray won, and it kind of sucked for people that didn't have Blu-ray. Well, maybe that's not a good example because technically Blu-ray was not better technology. They just won that battle. But I think we're in that time today with technology, with lots of apps and load boards. It's somewhat fragmented, but what you'll see is that the best solution is going to win, and I think it's going to happen very soon. I think we're nearing the end of that because companies can't continue investing in building and serving technology if people aren't adopting it, if people aren't using it, if people aren't happy with it. So I think recently, I'm realizing that's where we are. And I think the companies that continue to get validation from the market, companies that continue landing customers that people continue using, are the companies that are going to survive. And that's okay. So in the short term, I think it might be painful to have volume spread out everywhere. And majority of the volume today is on central dispatch, but the experience isn't there, right? People don't want to keep picking up the phone or not knowing who they work with or whether they can trust it. Brokers and shippers, they don't want to keep sending cars into what they call the black hole, where they can't tell who's who and what's what and where the cars are. Mailing checks really isn't something we should be doing today in 2023. So I think, at least from my perspective, the industry is picking up on that, and a lot of volume is changing to more digital platforms. And I think, at least for us, the market is giving us validation. And by market, I mean the people in this industry, the shippers, brokers, and carriers. They're continuing to push more volume to Super Dispatch and use Super Dispatch more. Every day the numbers are growing. We're delivering more cars. We're adding more customers. But there's going to be this phase for a year or two, maybe longer, of some pain, because we're figuring things out. We're like as an industry, we're going through puberty, and it's very confusing. It sucks sometimes, but it's also very exciting. But once we come out of this, man, we're going to be so strong, and we're going to be set for one good healthy stint at life. So I think that's where we are, and I think it helps to look at it that way, instead of just this versus that. 5 years from now, we're all going to be friends. This is all healthy, and I think we're already beginning to work together and collaborate with a lot of the players in the space. So it's just bear with us as this plays out for a little bit longer as a community. And I think, maybe this is also like a relationship. I've been married 16 years, and, it's not Instagram glamorous. As I was saying earlier, it's a marriage. We have 4 kids, and it has lots of ups and downs. We're still together. And the way we're still together is through communication. We learned at some point that, we should be talking to each other. I wish we knew that from the get-go. It's just not something they teach you in the marriage manual. But I think it's just kind of like that, just like a relationship. You go through ups and downs. There's good and there's bad, and communication is important. And what I'm realizing is that sitting here and saying, hey, everything is awesome, here's my product, come use it, your life's, yeah, it's good. It helps you do a lot of things, but there's also room for real conversations. And I want to have these real conversations, and we have this already in conferences and behind closed doors. And I want to start having these conversations out in the public, out in the open, on Copilot, openly with customers. So I think that's just from my perspective, at least, and from the perspective of a few people that I talk to, that we're in this phase in this industry but it's not long-term sustainable. It's about to shake out. It's going to shake out, and we're going to have, just like ELD, you're going to have winners and losers. And the industry, the market's going to choose the solution that fits it best, and we'll just all go in on that.
I think a good follow-up is, I think Lioness had a question about, what do you see as kind of a stagnant area here we are. You kind of gave that perspective. Where are we stagnant right now? What's kind of languishing? Yeah. Do you have any? I'm sure you have some ideas.
Yeah. Again, I can only speak to what I see, and I see a small part of the industry. At least just from my perspective, I can speak to that and what I hear. And the bigger voices, the more of what's happening, the more complete picture, I guess. Again, I want to try to build that using Copilot and bringing more voices and people onto that platform from all walks of life. But what I see today, if you think of stagnation, I don't know if I would use that word. I don't know if we're stagnating, but it's a really good word to point out where the issues and challenges may be. What's not as it should be, or where are we not making progress? And let me start with where we are making progress, where I see a lot of exciting things. I see a lot of exciting things from larger companies. Brokers are investing in a lot of technology. I think brokers are adapting to this digital future really well. And that's good. I mean, that's good because they're going to stay in business. They will continue serving shippers, and they will make things easier for the carriers. And if they're in business, they're making things easier for the carriers. Carriers make more money and make more money. Shippers are gaining a better understanding of transport. There are a lot of shippers now who are managing transport themselves. That's also exciting to see, because now carriers get to work directly with shippers as well. And that's another big change that's happening. So these are really positive things that are happening in the industry. And just if for any of you Game of Thrones fans out there, there's all these clans or families, the landscape is being reshaped in some shape or form. And it's just a natural progression of businesses. Businesses grow and slow down and go up and down. So when you think about stagnation, I think the area that we haven't quite figured out is the small business area. And this is small to mid-sized carriers. The staggering stats around long-term carrier sustainability, how long the carrier stays in business is shrinking. We did a study a while back that showed, I think, prior to 2018, the average carrier life cycle, company starting and ending being a carrier based on public records was 3.7 years. So nearly 4 years average carrier was in business. 2018 through 2023, that is now 1.7 years. So it's less than half. And I see this because I talk to these carriers all the time. So they get into this business and then they get out. They can't, of course, yes, sometimes, they don't have best practices in place, but insurance, fuel, expenses, rates, so all these things. And I'm not seeing that we're doing anything about that today. It's just we're kicking the can down the road because the problem isn't in our face as much today. So I would say, as an automotive industry, we ought to take a hard look at longer term sustainability of that sector, because that's the supply of this industry. That's the carrier capacity. We talk about it. We say, hey, driver shortage, or hey, this and that. But the problem is real. The data shows that it's real. But we're digitizing everything. We're doing things, but there's a world out there that isn't an app, that isn't software, that, at the end of the day, the job is to move a car. In order to move a car, it requires a truck and a trailer and a dedicated, capable, driver. Then technology. Technology sits on top of all that. And I think we just have to think about that. The soil in this industry, if you think about, plant analogy, perhaps, the carriers are the soil in this industry, and we're planting things on that, right? And it's just that soil needs to be nourished with water and moisture and nutrients. So, and if it's not, and I don't see us nourishing that. I think that's one area that concerns me significantly, and I'd love to do something about it. At least get a conversation going in that direction with Copilot.
I know I heard a dealer say are we doing it to ourselves? And the reference was about, the conversation was talking about, well, rates should be coming down. And I thought, well, gosh, if you have a carrier listening to this, that's the last thing they want to hear, because they're saying, man, those rates haven't gone up in 10 years. And a dealer actually said, well, are we doing it to ourselves? By expecting things to cost less all the time, are we killing our own sustainability in transportation? And the answer is?
I think the answer is we're very close to resolving that, I believe, because you can do a lot of things that we're doing in auto transport have already been done in other industries. And the way some of the other similar industries have solved this is they've created benchmarks. They've used aggregated amount of data in the market, and they have set transparent market intelligence. So everyone in the market knows the rates for moving goods from A to B in a certain lane in a certain market. We don't have this today. There's no such thing. There's no concept of publicly tracked and shared market rates. It's just kind of wild west out there. There's bids that go out for large volumes, and on small scale, the bids play out on load boards, and it's just, whoever draws the gun first or whatever. It's a wild west out there. And that's just not how healthy ecosystems function. If you think of healthy industries that thrive and are sustainable, they use information and data to advantages like that. And we're doing something like that. I don't know if my team wants me to openly share, but I'll tease it a little bit, and if they say it's okay, maybe we can openly share it. But we have something out there. If you find it, you can use it. It's free. It's not publicized yet, but there's a website out there. It's open. It's public. I can't say what it is because it hasn't been announced, but that's exactly what it does. It tells you what the market rates are, and it's something that we've been using. We've been building using machine learning algorithms and lots of market data. And the goal is to inform everyone in the industry, shipper, broker, carrier, what rates are. And it shouldn't be, too high, not too low. This is the cost of goods. And even in large economies, that's how, cost of goods is tracked and informed. So that's something we lack today. I think that would solve a lot of problems. It allows the broker to know what the cost is so they can manage their margin. It allows the shipper to plan for transport in advance, and allows a carrier to be paid a fair price. And then additionally, we're going to launch earlier this year. I was talking to auto remarketing team, and they're doing some kind of annual report. And we talked about the education, the type of education that we would need to provide to the carrier side around best practices or accounting. I think fundamental question a carrier should be able to answer. Any carrier, just pull over any carrier and ask them, what is your cost of operating per mile? Is it $1, $1.50 per mile? Because when you're booking it, and the dispatcher should know this as well, when you're booking a load, you need to know what your cost of your operating expenses are. So you need to have the simple concept of idea of, hey, for me to run my truck, it costs me $1 a mile. If I'm booking loads that are 90 cents a mile, then I'm shooting myself in the foot. That's simple as that. You're going to go out of business. It's you, and you are doing it to yourself. But the way you change that is really fast. If you have independent benchmarks in the industry around pricing, and we've created this. We've been building this for 3.5 years. We finally put it out earlier this year. Some people are using it. Some companies are using it. We're collecting feedback. I think if it's ready for showtime, we might put it out there soon. But I think that's it. If we create transparency for everyone on what the rates are, that solves a lot of these problems. Then you don't have people taking advantage of one another. You don't have people making mistakes that could be avoided. And it's healthier for the whole ecosystem. It allows businesses to really thrive.
Incredible. Seriously. Those are, a lot of great information. If I said answers, I'd be remiss.
Hey, wait a minute. Did I just hear a breaking news live?
Yeah, of course. It's ATI.
Wait, I swear I just heard breaking news live.
Well, you did.
That was crazy.
But then
Crazy.
you didn't.
You had to be paying attention.
Huh?
Yeah, you did, but you didn't.
It was,
nice teaser.
Yeah, it was. You heard breaking teaser live.
Well, I mean, I'm listening to Bek, and it's amazing. And I'm looking at the live chat. We got Joe Bucari in there, and one of the things I think is education. I typed in the live chat, super educator, right? And I think I heard you in the very beginning talk about something about education. You feel strongly about educating. Is that right, Bek?
Yeah, it's yes, but let me clarify. It's not. I'm not the professor here.
No,
I'm not here
no.
educating anyone in that way.
No.
I would like to bring. I would like to look at the parallel industries who have figured this out already, and to bring best practices into here, and make some of this information templatized and transparent of how business should be run. I mean, it's, again, this is, if you look at successful fleets, they figured this out. Anyone with 5, 10, 20 trucks or whatever, they figured this out the hard way, perhaps. But up and coming people, if there's no fresh influx of people getting into this industry, long term, we're not going to be sustainable. So when they come in, we're not equipping the new entrants with the right tools and best practices.
Yeah, and I think that's where I was going is okay, whether it's a YouTube channel, whether it's an association, whether it's called Joe Bucari, right? Call Ty, call Bek.
Yeah.
There are
exactly.
fundamentals that, as a community, grassroots. See, I knew Super Dispatch because it was first to market. That's all I ever heard about. What do you use? Super Dispatch. I'm in the Midwest. Okay, makes sense. But as we move forward and we look at what ATI, the platform that ATI's built, where we do have a community of carriers that are interested in hauling cars, are interested in succeeding, taking their business to the next level. We have these relationships, and this is why I was really so excited to have you on tonight. And actually, the relationship that we've had the last couple of months has been just amazing. So thank you. But as we start plugging into, here's Bek, here's Jay, here's Ty, here's Joe, here's insurance, here's live carrier advice, here's Sue, dispatcher. Having people in certain aspects of this business that are very proficient in that part of the business, the ability to send that carrier to somebody that really knows the answer to the current question. And as a carrier, I was there. I mean, what do you do when the wheel falls off your trailer? I mean, the whole wheel, it's gone. What do you do, right? Who do you call for that? And so we tried to start with the fundamentals. The fundamentals are, you're going to need a lot of cash, right? I always try to tell people, if you can get 12 months worth of cash saved up, that's the best thing. Second is start asking yourself, who's going to pay you? Who's your customer? So if we start with that, it's real basic, start your own business 101. I tell people all the time, go to the local used bookstore, go to the business department, and buy How to Start a New Business. I mean, it's a short read. There's plenty of information out there. And if you get stuck along the way, give us a call. We'll help you. So kind of as I'm listening to your story, bringing this whole ecosystem together, putting this piece here, learning a little bit more about it, taking this piece, learning a little more about it, putting it together. I mean, I really got a lot of respect for what I hear you saying, and I really appreciate it. So I think as we continue to have this relationship with you and learn more about your company, your organization, your suite of products, I mean, wow. I mean, it's got the ability to take the carrier and extend that life expectancy. It really does. If I hear you, what I hear you saying, right?
Yeah, it's true. And if you think about the largest companies, automotive companies in the U.S., it's beneficial. They are interested in doing that. Largest fleets, the banks, the lease companies, the auctions, they're all interested in doing this. It's just not, we haven't figured out how to do it yet. And if you think about, for example, how to do that. So if you think about, small businesses, they're so busy doing the day-to-day. If you're an owner operator driving or whatever, it's just hard. We just gotta, sometimes you don't have time to read a book. I've been there and you've been there. I know the information is out there. The truth is out there, right? But how can we package it in a condensed, simple way for mass distribution, right? How do you do that? I think that's the trick. It's not that it's a secret. It's not that it's hidden away, locked away somewhere. I think it's just that we have to condense it and integrate it into how we work, integrate this information and best practices around the industry. And it begins here. I think it begins here with things like Copilot. It begins with the community. I think there's a conversation. It isn't one person preaching, right? It's a collective dialogue of peers. If there is a collective dialogue of peers, and dealers, for example, have knocked this out of the park. Groups of 20 and around an 8 months sharing best practices. They've been doing this for years, and it's an excellent model. It's an excellent model. I mean, look how they're thriving. They had historically record-breaking years throughout the pandemic. So I think it's about that. I think it's about figuring out how to set something in place like that, and then allowing the whole industry to be more sustainable. Because we've been talking about these issues for a while now, and you guys know this. You've been hearing it a lot. Problems with moving cars, and again, it's a very codependent ecosystem. The largest companies in this industry depend on the smallest businesses to do a good job, and vice versa. It's a very codependent ecosystem, right? So the best practices shouldn't only apply to largest players, but they have impact as well. Largest players come in and they get an account on maybe central dispatch, and they post a car and it gets stolen, and they get burnt, and nobody's educating them how to build and manage transport from day one. So I think it's about that. I think we're ready as an industry and as a community, but what I think we don't see is, I think if we start getting together outside of conferences and getting a dialogue out in the open, we could maybe have a shot at cracking this. I also wanted to say, Joe Burkari, if you're in the chat, big fan. I've seen all the shows that you were on. You have such a great wealth of knowledge, and I would love to have you on Copilot. I know you have so much wealth of knowledge that could take hours and hours, but I would love to find a way to share and distribute some of the great insights and best practices that you have, and see if that could be, I know it would be beneficial to a lot of companies. So if you can find the time, I'd love to have you on Copilot to diving into some of these things.
All right, final thoughts. We have covered a lot. I know we got to a few questions. Bek, did you have any questions that you wanted to follow up on? Because I don't think I asked that yet.
Yeah, I don't know if I have questions. I have an ask. I came here today to talk about the Auto Transport Copilot. It's been something in the making for a long time. I wasn't sure about doing it for some time because I wanted to make sure that it's not conflicting with any collective efforts that we have in this industry. And I wanted to make sure it is the right thing and the right approach to take this community approach to tackling our collective challenges in this industry. And getting feedback from the industry, from a lot of people, at least as of now, it seems like the right path to pursue. So I'm excited to be on that journey with all of you, with everyone in this industry. And again, this isn't the Bek show or the Super Dispatch show. It's the Auto Transport Copilot. And the reason that it's Copilot is we feel that you are in the driver's seat, and we are right there with you. And we are the co-pilots. So I'd love to bring your voices forward and get dialogues going around how to make things better and longer term sustainable. So I think that's my message is the same. Let's give people voice and let's tackle these challenges together as a community. And remember, write down the phone number, text me, call me. I'm already getting a lot of calls and text messages, and I've read them all. I'm responding to them as well. So I'd love to actively engage with the community in that way.
We've got, I'm just putting that phone number back in the live chat. It is 816-897-9096. And it was superbek@superdispatch.com, right? Superpack at superdispatch.com.
Exactly.
So let's put that in the live chat. Any other final thoughts, Ty?
I just want to say thanks. I've always, over the years since I've met Bek, I've really appreciated time that he shares with me, with you, seeing his product and seeing him at conferences, of course, real deal. And I just wanted to say thank you. And by the way, Stan too. I really got to know Stan, and Stan and I bump into each other at these conferences a lot. So shout out to Stan. And I met Brittany once too, and Emma.
That
and
is
Ross.
Amazing people.
That is a legit shout out to Stan. Seeing what the two of you do at live trade shows. And I just want to sidebar shout out all the things that you do. You know, I didn't have a whole Thai section in the industry news, but all of the people that you talk to at trade shows, that alone could be its own library podcast. For real. Thai live at trade shows is hours of interesting interviews, live, spontaneous networking on the spot. It's incredible. So shout out to you and shout out to Stan. I also want to say, since we're here, that when Brittany was on Dispatching Live, great stuff. Customer success versus customer support. It's not a versus. It's an and, or. But she did great. She was nervous. She did fantastic. And Ross, he's been on Dispatching Live a couple times. He was great too. Ben has been on Dispatching Live as well as live here on ATI. So we've gotten to know some of the Super Dispatch crew live, and tonight's installment, Fireside Chat with Bek, a great chapter in this this journey alongside you all. So great job tonight, Bek.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Love what you guys are doing. Big fan. Thanks for allowing us to engage with the platform in this way.
Yeah, awesome.
Absolutely.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Cool.
All right.
Thanks
Good
a lot.
show,
All right,
Thanks, guys.
and get to work. Yeah.
Go.
It's 7 a.m. now.
Exactly. All right, say hi to the guys for us. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
See you back. All right, take care. And here's what I'll do, Ty, is well, I'll tell you what. Wrap up the show with me.
Absolutely.
Right?
We never do that. It's just new. I like it, and I'm not in a hurry for some reason. It's weird.
I know. Well,
over here, like,
you're not in a hurry.
Conversation.
We got.
It's okay if I'm not in a hurry.
I know, exactly. If Ty's not in a hurry, shoot, put another quarter in the meter. We've had a lot of great interaction in the live chat. I know you can't see that because I brought it up on the screen. But, I mean, I'll tell you what. One of the things I like is when I see the live chat constantly scrolling. People are inputting, conversing back and forth. That's one of the wonderful things that I love about Tuesday nights on ATI. You were going to say something.
I just, sorry to interrupt you, but I was sitting here thinking, dang, we're going to have to redo this show. We didn't really get to live chat questions, and I'm sure I couldn't keep up with the entire chat, but we may have to talk to Bek about bringing Bek on and just go straight to cold start. I learned that from you, Jay, media guy.
Cold open.
Cold start.
Cold open. Hey, so did you see the industry news?
I did. I was I didn't realize half of you. You talk about media a lot, and we do meetings, and I hear you talk about it, but I didn't know exactly.
That was your idea. You did that. You actually, we kind of talk and we think about, what's the best way to, wrap the present, right?
Yeah.
And you gave me the idea, hey man, take it away with
You're a media guy. Yeah. Tell us about media.
And I started thinking, I was like, oh, you know what? Here's what's really interesting. Here's what I have thought at some point that really where I'm in my ultimate destination, because we talk about chapters. By the way, when Bek was talking about what do you say, other companies or other things he had launched, it reminded me of when I talked about streaming media dojo, right? It's just that that I heard this great concept, 10,000 hours. Have you heard of this?
No, I don't know.
that you haven't done jack until you've done it for 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
And
You don't know.
I've gotten the calculator out. Oh,
You made it?
oh, I've put in 10,000 hours on this channel. Shout out. Oh yeah.
Good job.
And so it's the 10,000 hours perspective that I gave that kind of presentation. Because if there's one darn thing I know, it's media.
Yeah.
I love it.
Marketing too. You didn't talk about your marketing background either.
And I didn't have time, right? Exactly.
No.
Look, I had to cut the news. I didn't even get to actual news articles.
Right. Well, I think one of the things, again, I like about what ATI's done, I talk about ATI. You,
it's like a
Ty,
thing. Yeah.
you know, all
What are
of
you
our
eating
friends
today, ATI? You know, like it's more than a channel now. It's it's this community.
It's really good and educational, I think. And I feel like there's I was sitting here thinking about carrier challenges, carrier events, whatever that might be, whatever that might look like, and how do we really truly engage as a community? You listen to the things that Bek's saying, and I got cut off, but I had this great phone call with Auto Hauler Association of America today.
You're right. I know.
So Auto Hauler Association of America. Who is that? Raise your hand in the live chat if you remember. Raise the live chat if you know. Raise your hand. Are you going to their conference in Denver coming up? Right? And who are they and what do they do and how can they help you? So they might be a little, we may have kind of elbowed them once or twice.
What? But we elbow everybody. This is a Subway. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the thing. This is ATI. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. But where I'm going with this is I see a lot of opportunity. And where this opportunity I see has come from is going to all the conferences that don't have anything to do with a car haul. But it has to do with a dealer. It has to do with a repo. It has to do with an auction. And as I go to these and I look, I'm like, where are the car haulers at? They should all be here by the droves, right? And I get it. We're all pressed for time. We're trying to build a business. I was the same way, building my business. Yeah, I didn't have time to go anywhere or do anything. Okay, well, if I can't go, and that's one of the reasons I really appreciate Rod Hamill is he's investing in these things.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's exactly Rod Hamill. And that's where, so here's what I think I'm getting it. Copilot is somewhere where you can catch up with the story of somebody that maybe you've seen featured on ATI, or you've learned more about their business. But if you want to get to know them better, maybe you swing over to Copilot, right? Just as we know there are other shows that in this ecosystem, it's a web of information. That's what I'm thinking. But what I love is that here we did episode 304, right? I know I'm getting messages too, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Because I tell you what, here's what's really fascinating. I'm going to camera one, Ty.
Go to camera.
Is that there are folks that have things to say, but they're not sure they want to put it in the live chat. So I'm getting emails, text messages. I think Ty is as well. Because here's what's happening, is that some people aren't sure what to think about everything happening all at once and the timing and what is this. And that's okay. The good news is you have ATI here for you several times a week. And, well, we're just... Then next Tuesday night is a whole nother show. In fact, dude, I'm going to go on vacation. And that's how we're going to wrap this up. I'm finally going to go out of town again. I'm leaving town Thursday. No dispatching live Thursday. No cars on the move Friday. I know, Ty, what are you going to do? What are you going to do Friday, Ty?
Where's HR? Give me the
right,
number.
Exactly.
I got a complaint, man. Come on.
Exactly. I'm going to file a complaint. I will be live from Iowa next Tuesday night, and I think I did that a year ago.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that.
Right?
Yeah,
I was doing a little
like some
walking.
family event or something.
Yeah,
Weird.
So it's that again. It's it's summer light. Take a little time off.
Yeah.
But what is really cool, and this is what you were talking about with that aha, we already have many great shows lined up in August. I'm really excited about several of them, and
Oh,
You
man.
know, like just the meeting you kind of talked about that we have tomorrow, golly
Yeah.
knows where that's going to go. So it's exciting to see where we're headed in our journey, and
Yeah.
we are really happy to have folks in the live chat, advertisers, fans, businesses, networkers, thought leaders.
Yeah, like Super
weaving
Dispatch
in
and
and out
Bek coming
of
in the show. I mean,
exactly.
that's crazy to have a CEO of a big company come in and sit down and talk to us. Fireside chat. Wow.
And you know what? I think the
That's
Fireside
crazy.
chat
Thanks,
went
Bek.
really, really well. Yeah. It
Yeah,
did.
just
So,
really cool and smart guy,
yeah.
sharp, good looking, man, working hard. The real life stories about what it takes to build a business. I mean, and that's the thing, guys. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're doing a
He was saying
technology,
that
if
too,
you're
exactly.
a carrier, if you're a broker, if you're
10,000 hours.
changing tires.
Yeah.
It's there. Car hauling. Get Joe on the line. Joe, is car hauling easy? Right? I mean, we got that short clip that you made of Joe talking about, your first day. You're going to literally spend an entire day to load one load of cars and unload it, and you're probably going to get a lot of trouble in the middle. Just stick with it, right? So if anything, I see Auto Transport Copilot at ATI as platforms to prepare you for what you're about to get into, because it's real.
And as I
It's
mentioned in the industry news, there are many, many others. There
Oh,
are guys
plenty.
like Jason Kendall that have been in the cab of this truck doing it for years.
Yeah.
Charles.
Surge. I didn't know Surge was one of the first ones.
Surge. Oh my gosh.
Charles.
How about that guy you were talking about for a while? Oh, what was his
Oh.
name? Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And this gets
Out
into my
West guy,
media
yeah.
conversation again, is that
Yeah.
if you're looking for a constant, that's what we're here for.
There
We're
you go.
ATI, we're the constant.
Yeah, that's
we're
good.
building the library. So thank you for joining us on this journey. Please
Yeah.
do stay
Thanks,
tuned
everybody.
for
We appreciate you.
you can take the rest of the week off. I'll say hello from Iowa, and then we'll be back at it in August.
Yeah,
So,
August is
yeah.
going to be lit too. By the way, I
Oh
think
my
we're doing
gosh.
IARA.
Yeah, Lioness mentioned Toe Piglet, right? Toe Piglet
Toe
was
Piglet,
all
right.
the rage for so
Yeah, Toe
long.
Piglet.
Oh my god!
Super Hotshot Dave. Remember Hotshot Dave?
Oh, I know, Hotshot Dave. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
But anyway, I guess, we'll be back. August is going to be lit, everybody. Just so
Yeah,
you know, we
August
got a
is gonna
lot
be
going.
lit.
We got some big names coming that are going to talk about
You
real
have
life.
a trade show in August too. That was actually one of the Ask Larry questions. Okay, here we go.
Whoa. Last chance for us, Larry.
What trade show were we at last, and which one are we going to next? Your choices are. I'm going to see if I can bring up this slide really quick. I don't know if I can. Your choices are. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Check this out.
Uh-oh.
Here's the first question. What is the auto transport industry preferred mobile app? Is it Super Dispatch, Central Dispatch, Ready Auto, or Easy Dispatch?
Hold on, wait. Okay, hang on. I gotta get my chat going, man. Boom. I got it.
The answer
I know the
is.
answer. See, if I came up on your live chat, I should have.
Oh, yeah, you did. You got the
Whoa,
answer.
look at
Ty
Auto
is the
Transport.
only one that got the answer.
Auto Transport Copilot got the NIADA digital dealer. That was NIADA was the last one we were at, right?
Okay. But they
Yeah,
did they get the? Okay, that's really good
Hey.
guessing there. All right, let's go to. Oh, here we go. Carriers can customize their company profile in Super Dispatch for deliverable documents. True or false?
Ooh, I got it. Hey, before we go, Rolando. Remember we tried to get Rolando on the other day? He's in the live chat. I think that's him.
Rolando.
Yeah. From Florida. The guy I
Rolando.
met at Seaport Services at Candy's place. He was
Oh,
at the
that's
port
cool.
for 6
Hey,
hours
what's
and
up?
lost $200.
Shout
Wow.
out, Rolando.
Man, good
That's
to see you,
awesome,
buddy.
dude. Yeah,
Sorry
man,
we
thanks
missed
for
you on the
saying
last
that.
roundtable, but we're going to get you in there. We'll have you back on. Okay, I got this one right
And the
too.
answer is that is true.
Yes, Carlos got it.
Carriers can customize their company profile in Super Dispatch for deliverable documents. Now, if you
You know
don't
who
know
I
that,
learned that from?
who?
This is what's crazy. Candy. taught me
Candy.
this.
Yeah, shout out Candy.
I heard her telling somebody about it
Yeah.
on another roundtable.
I mean, every carrier should know this, and if you don't know how to do this, you want to learn how. It's easy and it's effective for your business.
It's professional.
Yeah.
From what I hear, I've never seen it.
All right, here we go. We've got one more. You guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
What was the last automotive trade show where ATI went live, and what is our next one? Is it Auto Intel Summit Used Car Week, Car Conference Digital Dealer, NIADA IARA, or NADA and AAA? Jay, what's with the head? I'm like, you know, I was breakdancing. I love Larry. This is the most fun part. It's the
When you skipped him today, man.
I know.
Come on.
Well, I
Hey,
had
look.
to.
There's Rolando and Candy talking in the live chat.
Oh,
Live.
that's
Talking
ATI.
in the live chat live, right there.
ATI live. Thank you, guys.
That's where I met Rolando. That's
okay,
cool.
so
And he's still trucking.
Our last trade show was Auto Transport Copilot's
C.
got the answer. It is C.
Good job.
Yeah. We were at NIADA and we're going to IARA. That's in August. So you're going to be in Chicago at IARA in August, as well as we've built some pretty cool shows, you know, before it and after it. And then, oh man, we don't even know. October. Now, October's going to be crazy.
Don't we? Okay, so we've got a lease. We're going to our first lease conference.
Okay, so
Fleet lease.
all right, so let's tease October. Let's go ahead and tee it up.
Is the Auto Hauler Exchange, AHA, is that October as well?
Yes, it is. So in October, you've got AFLA, the fleet lease in Palm Springs. You've got Digital Dealer in Vegas. You've got AHA in Colorado.
What?
And Auto Finance New Summit West, we might be there too. All in October. Pack your bag. You are not going to be at home.
I'm okay with October because that's like fall, you know. It starts cooling off, and I can handle the cool weather.
Lioness is like, what's with all the acronyms? Ah!
That's in October. Wow.
I know.
didn't in the digital. So we got Digital Dealer also. I didn't
In
know
Vegas
that.
in October. I know.
Oh wow. Okay, go over it again.
know.
So
Yeah.
what do you call it?
So you got AFLA.
AFLA. Hey, by the way, so you guys were like, yeah, Ty knew which conference he was at last and which one he's going to next. Watch this exchange. So tell me October.
Right, we're
again.
having a meet. This is us having our meeting live. Like we do that. That's another thing we do. We have too much fun. Okay,
October.
so October AFLA is
AFLA.
October 2nd through 5th, Palm Springs.
Okay, second through
Fleet
fifth.
lease.
Now let's talk about it for a minute. And
Yes.
why would a transport guy, auto transport, be interested in this? What is this?
Me.
Okay, why? What is it?
Okay.
You know more about it.
Well, in the questions we heard, what about brokers and volume and shippers posting loads?
Yeah.
Who needs to get the most amount of vehicles moved that will keep transporters busy?
Oh. Ding ding.
The answer
I
is
I'm going with lenders, fleet, lease, big, mega,
marketers.
marketers.
That's right.
Yeah.
This show is legit just
Full of those
bliss.
guys.
I mean, it's going to be
Those are the
nuts.
people that I really want to talk to. Good night, Auto Transport
Yeah,
Copilot.
good night,
Thanks
Auto
for coming by.
Transport Copilot. Thank you so much. Rental
Yeah, rental
cars.
cars.
Yeah, Lioness rental cars.
So
Yeah.
this one's going to be a good one. I'm really pumped about it because we haven't gone to one of these, and I've heard a lot about
Oh
it.
my gosh.
I'm
This is
just
gonna
going
be
to tell you
sick.
right now.
Yeah.
And how we got
No.
in, you know? Whoa. That's crazy.
See, I think I asked
some lady
for.
met somebody, and they're like, yeah.
Well, I think I asked for an introduction. Yeah, I think I was talking to an event coordinator from Car Conference.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Michelle Pirog, who's a friend of ours because of Privacy for Cars shot out.
Yeah,
She
Michelle,
was talking
yeah.
about it. And I was like,
she's
wait a minute. I've heard this a couple times. Can you introduce me to somebody? So I had a meeting with that person, and
Yeah.
I don't think we have the pass yet, but I'm almost 100% positive. And this is the stuff. Oh my gosh! So yeah, not only do I work on the shows, I mean,
No, we
yeah.
got that. That one.
Did we already get the pass?
Hotel.
Did
Yeah,
you?
we got the pass and the hotel.
Oh, yes.
I already got that one done.
I love it when a plan comes together. It's like
The only
A-team.
one we don't have is
We don't have digital dealer.
I don't have any digital dealer, and
Thanks,
we haven't
Ants,
put the
that's
AHA together. Hey, by the way, Joe
Wow.
put the dates for October 22 through 25 AHA.
In
Joe will be
Denver.
there.
Yes. So that's when AHA is. Digital dealers the week before AHA.
Oh boy.
And
Wow.
Auto Finance News Summit West is the week after
It's the
AHA.
week, yeah.
And we've never seen it. That was the longest shot. Auto Finance News Summit West. We've never talked about this. I had a meeting. It's a maybe.
Yeah,
You know.
I'm in.
And this is
I'll
what,
do
dude, this is what's so interesting is that, and I'm just going to toot my own horn for a second. This is some of the, like the when you look at the mountain and the rope climbers and they can climb up because there's a stake in the mountain. You know who's putting the stake up there first?
Some crazy dude.
ATI. ATI. We're putting stakes in mountains now. That's what we're doing.
No, we are, and it's really here's the thing. So guys, I'm really excited that you're so excited about going to another conference. How does that help you move more?
No, right? Oh, it kills me.
I can tell you guys are really happy about that, but I'm looking for a better something, right? Which trailer is the best trailer? Which truck's the best truck? We'll get there, and those are very important things. But always just remember, I want to know who's going to pay me, so I can pay for that truck and that trailer.
And thank you.
Who's going to pay me?
Thank you, live chat. And that is that. Here's the deal. When you look at who posted the loads on Central, they're at the trade shows.
Yeah.
Mic drop. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
That's
It's
who's
nuts.
at the trade shows.
Yeah, and I didn't even tell you this second phone call I had today that will really blow your mind. That I came from a big broker outfit that's really going heavy, diving cannonball style into auction world, right? I mean, it's out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you told me something yesterday that's part, and that's really where this is. Now you're telling me stuff that blows my mind because of conversations you had. Because now we can't even keep track of all the stuff going on. This is crazy.
Well,
that's why we have
additional
live meetings
stakes.
now.
Yeah. It's the only time I can talk to you.
I
buddy.
know.
after
it
the
is.
show.
I know.
No, but Joe's got us cooking steaks, so I think mountains and steaks. Yeah, we're good.
I'm putting steaks in mountains, but Joe's cooking steaks.
Joe's cooking steaks.
Medium
Kansas
rare,
City
Joe.
Barbecue.
I'll take a
Yeah.
porterhouse.
Porterhouse. I'll do
Yeah.
a medallion. I like medallions.
Well, I'm hungry.
Okay,
You
that's
know?
fair. Yeah, do it.
I'll take a KC strip.
There you go.
That'll work.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so
A
I
little
will see
2-incher.
you
Yeah, let's get out
next
of here.
Tuesday night
Yeah.
at regular time. No, I
Yes.
won't see you next Tuesday night.
No,
You'll be on the.
I'll be in
vacation.
Iowa. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I'll
I'll
see
be on
you-
the. Well, I'll tell you what. Here's what happens when I'm remote and I'm on a phone. I need
Yeah.
all the help I can get. So
Okay,
say
I'll be
hello
on
in the
live
live
chat.
chat. We can hear
Yeah.
you. We can't hear you.
Oh,
Stop
okay,
moving
great.
around. That kind of stuff. Yeah.
Watch out for the firecrackers coming
Yeah,
at your
exactly.
head, like
I'm
firecracker.
gonna be down. I'll be downtown Dubuque. That's what I did last time. That's probably what I'm doing this
whoa.
time. Yeah.
Perfect.
So-
Okay,
Oh,
well-
the firecrackers! I went back and watched the 4th of July. That was not bad. And by the way,
No.
this neighborhood after that video went nuts. I'm so
Oh, I
glad
bet.
I did the video when I did. Yeah.
Got in and got out.
Oh my
quick.
God. I would have
Good
lost
deal.
an eye.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll see you Friday.
Yeah. Great job tonight, man. Really. Shout out.
Thank you,
Good job.
everybody. Good
Yeah.
job, Beck. Good
And
job,
everybody
Jay.
in the
You
live
guys-
chat and
live
Super
chat.
Dispatch. Yeah.
We'll
Thanks
try to
very
get
much.
Beck or somebody back to dive into the real.
It was awesome
Problems.
stuff.
All right,
well,
guys. Thank you.
hey, man,
Good night.
here comes that car hauler. Stay
All right.
safe, and we'll see you soon. Peace out, everybody. Thank you so very much.